Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, your comments in the chat, my comments right now. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Guys, sorry for the 5-minute delay. I had a family member that I had to totally take that call for. I apologize. Sorry for that. Hopefully you guys stuck around and you're still going to be in the chat and watching as well. You're wondering if, excuse me, guys. If you're wondering why I'm wearing Super Bowl 50's Von Miller's jersey, as well as Super Bowl 32 Denver Broncos champions hat, it's because it is Super Bowl weekend. This is a Friday just prior to the Super Bowl 58. Ironically, there's the 8, there's the 50. Von Miller wore number 58, and this is Super Bowl 58. Does that mean I'm going for the Kansas City Chiefs? No, not at all. Not at all. But it's ironic, though, that I just happen to be wearing. It's the latest Broncos Super Bowl that they won. Super Bowl 50. So, of course, I'm going to bring this one out. And also, the orange jersey has a different meaning later on in the show. I'll get to why that this jersey has a little bit more meaning in regards to the show. All right, guys. Nobody that I can see is in the comments section. So we're just going to jump right into first topic, which is Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater. Former Minnesota Vikings and Denver Broncos quarterback Teddy Bridgewater has retired and has been hired pretty much immediately as the head coach in pro football. No. Head coach of his alma mater. College. No, not even college. Teddy Bridgewater, according to Bleacher Report, Teddy Bridgewater has been hired as head coach for his high school team, Miami Northwesterns. Congratulations to Teddy Bridgewater. Really, sincerely, congratulations to Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, the guy played in the NFL. He had some really good seasons. He wasn't an outstanding quarterback, but he wasn't a pathetic quarterback. He played for the Vikings. He did quite well. Played for the Broncos, and he filled in and did quite well. People want to say, he wasn't this. He wasn't Peyton Manning. He wasn't John Elway. He wasn't Joe Montana. He wasn't John Unitas. He wasn't Brett Favre. He wasn't Patrick Mahomes. Who cares? When you make it to the NFL, and I know I'm going to hear a whole lot of stuff from different people. I understand it and I get it. But not everybody is the elite of the elite. They're not. You can't be the elite of the elite all the time. It just doesn't work that way. But Teddy Bridgewater did what Teddy Bridgewater had to do. And he had some really good games. And to sit there and say, maybe he doesn't deserve to be head coach of his high school. Why not? Can you imagine being a football player on that high school football team, knowing you're being coached by an NFL quarterback, former NFL quarterback? My gosh, man, I would love that for my grandson. My grandson plays baseball. Julian plays baseball. And I would absolutely go nuts if, let's say, I don't know. I mean, he loves playing second base. So let's say if there was a, great second baseman, Ryan Sandberg. Let's say Ryan Sandberg. I'm a big Cubs fan, so I'm going to name Cub players. So let's say Ryan Sandberg, was there and was coaching my grandson. You think I wouldn't lose my mind? Of course I would. I just think it's fantastic that, these guys have the opportunity. And for Teddy Bridgewater to go back to his high school where he played and now be the head coach of that football team, I think that's absolutely phenomenal. Love it. Absolutely love it. 100%. No doubt about it. Think it's great. Why not? Why not give back to where he first started? I mean, really. I go back sometimes to where I started. You know, I stay in contact with the people. I don't physically go back there, but I stay in contact with the people that, you know, I worked with and then helped me along. I think it's fantastic. Okay. Mike Vrable. Mike Vrable was released by the Tennessee Titans. Okay. And a lot of people thought he would land a head coaching spot like that. Nope. Listen to this. This is very interesting. And it kind of, well, I'll throw it out there. You guys tell me what you think. One NFL general manager who did not want to be named said Mike Vrable, being a large person, scared away some teams in certain ways from hiring him as their head coach. I've never heard of that. Okay, so he's a large person, a large stature. He's got, you know, maybe a presence about him that scares some people. Well, let me continue. Listen to this. Quoting from an NFL general manager who did not want to be named, he said, and I quote, "He's a very large human being and can be very intimidating to people in an organization that are going to be part of these decisions coming up. That is a factor." End quote. Wow. I've never heard of a person not being hired. Didn't say what team, didn't say that, you know, that was the main sole reason. But for this general manager to come to speak on this and not want to be named means that he really kind of fears for his own job or whatever the case may be. Bottom line is, if Mike Vrable is that big of a stature and that intimidates some people, well, of course you're not going to hire him. Because if you're in a meeting about, you know, whether you're going to hire this guy or whether or not you're going to draft that person or cut this person or bench that person, whatever, and Vrable gets in your face, are you not going to want to back down? Of course you are. Of course you're going to want to back down. And that's the problem. That's the problem, because obviously Vrable has that kind of stature and that kind of way about him. And that can scare a lot of people away. And I don't blame them. You gotta have a very cohesive working relationship. You can't have somebody overpowering you in stature and you know, maybe just physical presence. Just maybe physical presence. Okay, guys, we are into what I like to call the jackass of the week. Here it is. All right. We all know that the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are going to be taking on the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas this Sunday, 2 days from now. Well, Patrick Mahomes is in the news again. Not quarterback Patrick Mahomes, but his dad, Patrick Mahomes Sr., is in the news again as this week's Jackass of the Week. Here it is. According to TMZ, Patrick Mahomes Sr. has been arrested a third time for DUI. All right. Now, I bring the entire charges on him. Here it is. Mahomes Sr. was arrested by Tyler, Texas Police Department last Saturday, almost a week ago, and released on Sunday afternoon per ESPN. This is his third arrest on DUI, and if convicted, could face up to 10 years in prison. All right, guys. Okay. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is his third Super Bowl appearance. Okay? Correct. He's won 2. He's trying to win his third. This is his father's third DWI in as many Super Bowls that his son has been in. Does this guy have an issue? So apparently he's out partying because his son, Patrick Mahomes Jr., is in the Super Bowl again. And he's having a good time partying, drinking, doing whatever, and freaking drives or tries to drive home and gets pulled over for not the first, not the second, but the third time. Third time. Hello? Have you not learned your freaking lesson? Oh, I understand. I understand, Patrick Mahomes Sr. You expect your son, Patrick Mahomes Jr., to bail you out or to get you out of trouble or to call an Uber. Well, what? Your phone doesn't work? You can't call an Uber? Uber? You are putting your son, Patrick Mahomes, quarterback of the Chiefs, in a situation where now he has to answer these questions. Why are you making it harder for him? Now, guys, don't sit there and chastise me. I'm not saying I want the Chiefs to win because I don't. I'm just saying, why is this guy doing this to his son? Instead of supporting his son, he's basically putting questions by the media in his son's face to have to answer prior to getting ready. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe Patrick Mahomes Sr. is being paid off by the 49ers to kind of influence. No, that's not. I'm just throwing that out there. But this is ridiculous. Why are you doing this to your son, to yourself? I continue. Listen, this is not a slap on the wrist, guys. Listen to this. Hang on. Here we go. All right. This is his third arrest on DWI, and if convicted, could face up to 10 years in prison. When asked by ESPN about his father being arrested again, starting quarterback for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes Jr. said, and I quote, "Yeah, he's doing good. I don't want to really get into it too much, but he's doing good for whatever the situation is." Whatever the situation is, he's being charged with freaking felony DUI. I continue on, and I'm still quoting. "It's a family matter, so I'll keep it to the family, and that's all I really have to say about this at this point," end quote. Patrick Mahomes Jr., quarterback for the Chiefs, does not want to deal with this. He doesn't want to deal with it. And he's had to deal with it the last 2 times he's been to the Super Bowl, and now the third time. I don't understand these guys. And I'm not saying PM Senior, Patrick Mahomes, PM Senior, has a whole lot of money. I don't know if he does. I don't really care. But the bottom line is, why are you doing this? Why are you putting your son in a situation where he has to answer questions prior to the biggest game of the entire season? Why are you doing this? Are you selfish? Well, apparently so. Apparently it's all about you, my friend. Apparently it's all about you. I just don't understand these guys. I don't get it. I just don't get it. All right, let's go to the chat. Batting leadoff, Kamani Dixon in the house. Kamani says he needs help. Yes, he does. He does need help. And, you know, and I don't mean to make light of it, Kamani. I really don't. I just don't understand why they just don't. If they have an issue and they want to drink and stuff like that, that's their issue. But why are you driving? Why can't you call somebody? Why can't you call an Uber? Call your son? I mean, I'm pretty sure he'd answer the phone. It's from dad. I mean, I just don't get these guys. Stay home. Do whatever. I'm sorry, guys. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm not that kind of person. But It's just sad. It is sad, and it's and right on the heels of biggest game of the season. Pretty sad. All right, Kamani also chimes in and says, he stunk on stupid and parked on dumb. Yeah, that's pretty close. He's stuck on stupid and parked on dumb. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. No, I mean, no other way to look at it, right? No other way to look at it. Kamani says, seems like the Chiefs need to stay out of the Super Bowl. Yeah, well, for his dad's sake, of course they do. Kamani, of course they do. For his dad's sake, that's probably the best thing. That's probably the best rehab he could ever get, is not get to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, Chiefs are too good to stay out of the Super Bowl. All right, the topic of the show is Randy Gradishar in the Hall. Randy Gradishar from 1977 Orange Crush team is finally, and if you look down below my name, Bronco Bill, it says finally Randy Gradishar is in the Hall of Fame. Okay, this is way, way, way overdue. Way overdue. Not just for Randy Gradishar, but for Tom Jackson, for the other Bronco players that were on that Orange Crush team. I'm talking about Dennis Smith, or what's the other guy? Dennis Smith and God, I can't remember the name, but there's a lot of guys on those Broncos Orange Crush teams, and that's why I'm wearing orange again. Orange Crush, and I know it's a different uniform, okay, but still orange, okay. And this goes out to Randy Gradishar. When I think of number 53, I think of Randy Gradishar. I also think of Bill Romanowski, but I think of Randy Gradishar first. Randy Gradishar, long, long, long overdue for the Hall of Fame, has finally made it. Cannot wait to see a speech in Canton. It's going to be amazing. And it's just, I don't understand why it's taken so long. We had Floyd Little in the Hall of Fame prior to the Orange Crush. We've had players after the Orange Crush in John Elway, in Shannon Sharp, in Terrell Davis, amongst others that have made it to the Hall of Fame after the Orange Crush. Why has it taken so freaking long for the Broncos players to be recognized for that amazing team that they had with the Orange Crush defense? It was spectacular. It was amazing. The Broncos' very first Super Bowl in 1977, after they defeated the Oakland, the then Oakland Raiders and John Madden, to make it to the first Super Bowl, which I know they lost to the Cowboys, but they made it. That was an amazing team that has never beaten the Raiders like that. The Raiders owned the AFC West, and the Broncos took them down. It's taken this long for somebody from the Orange Crush defense to get recognized. Hats off. Hat freaking off to Randy Gradishar for making the Hall of Fame finally. Finally, the Hall of Fame committee got it right. Eventually, they got it right. Thank goodness. Because Randy Gradishar, amongst many others, definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. All right, let me read this real quick before I get to the chat. The Hall of Fame inductees will be formally announced at the NFL Honors Program, which they did. Randy Gradishar was named as a Hall of Fame finalist, Hall of Fame inducted to Hall of Fame. He has waited way too long, and it's about time he was enshrined. And my point being is this. The Broncos, it says Denver Broncos first bronze bust in the Hall of Fame from the iconic 1977 Orange Crush defense will be enshrined. It is about freaking time. About time. There's no need whatsoever for these guys to be left out. None whatsoever. It's to me mind-blowing that it's taken this long. I mean, other players from other teams that didn't make the Super Bowl have been enshrined. It's just, thank goodness Randy Gradishar broke the mold, kicked the door in, slammed it shut, and said, I am in, baby. I am in. Congratulations, Randy Gradishar. You and a host of other Orange Crush defensive players definitely need to be in the Hall. Thanks for kicking the door in. Thanks for being in the Hall. Can't wait to see your bust and your speech and hear your speech in Canton, Ohio. Can't wait. All right, here we go. Back to the chat, guys. Let's see. Clayton Huron in the house, batting second in the chat. Clayton Huron says, hey, Bill. I say, hey, Clayton, what's happening, my friend? Clayton also says, smash that like button and share, guys. Absolutely. Best way you guys can help out this show, help out any show on the MHRT network. Hit the likes button, hit the thumbs up. That lets everybody else know when they go to that particular video or podcast or whatever, they see the thumbs up and they know that other people like the show. Please do that. It costs nothing, but it helps out tremendously. You guys are the backbone, like I've said before. Please show that backbone spirit and hit the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. All right. Clayton also says Denver Broncos for life. Absolutely. Follows it up by saying, go 49ers, baby. I say, yep, I agree. There's a lot of Bronco people that are on the 49ers, a lot of Bronco associations with, like you have Christian McCaffrey. He never did play for the Broncos, but his dad, Ed McCaffrey, did. And Ed McCaffrey's got a Super Bowl ring as a member of the Broncos in Super Bowl 32 and 33, I think. I think he was on a team in 33. I could be mistaken. I know he got 32, and he would love to have his son have a Super Bowl ring as well. So I totally agree. And there's Clayton Huron saying, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Clayton. Always appreciate your support, as well as Kamani Dixon and others. Really do appreciate it. All right. This is an interesting fact. Very interesting fact. Since 1960, the first year of the Denver Broncos, 48 quarterbacks have been drafted by Denver. Only one has won a playoff game. Can you guys name that player that the Denver Broncos, that quarterback, I should say, that the Denver Broncos drafted since 1960 that has won a playoff game? Okay, guys, I'm not going to read the rest of this until I want to get some people in chat. Name the only quarterback the Denver Broncos drafted that has won a playoff game. All right, let's go to the chat real quick. Clayton Huron says, man, bud, on my other pod, it's been 1 year today. Absolutely love all the show. Wow, thanks, Clayton. Really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for being part of the show for an entire year. I gotta give out some kind of reward for people who've been on the show for a year, 2 years. So I'm going to come up with something like that. I'm going to come up with something like that before next football season, and I will hand out things for when people have been on the show or been, part of the show and in the chat and stuff like that, to hand out for for being supportive for the entire show. I think it's amazing. All right, I'm gonna jump over Kamani real quick. I'm gonna go to Clayton. Says, love talking sports. Man talked and just about life too. Love it. I agree, Clayton. I totally agree with just enjoying the people in the chat, enjoying what they have to say. Love the neighborhood, all that kind of stuff. Just absolutely love it. Okay, the answer to my question is, who is the only drafted quarterback the Broncos have drafted that have won a playoff game as a Denver Bronco? Answer, Kamani. Ding, 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 ding. Kamani Dixon wins the prize. Sorry, Kamani, don't have anything to give you right now because I haven't thought of it. But Kamani Dixon says Tim Tebow. He is 100% absolutely right. Here it is. The only quarterback drafted by the Denver Broncos, Tim Tebow has won a playoff game. Other Bronco quarterbacks have won playoff games, but they were not drafted by the Denver Broncos. Wow. John Elway won. He wasn't drafted. Oh, yeah. People say, well, wait a minute. No, we drafted John Elway. No, we didn't. The Colts drafted John Elway. We traded for John Elway. We traded for Peyton Manning. Now, we did draft Brock Osweiler, but he didn't win a playoff game. People go, yeah, we did. We beat the Chargers. No, that was a non-playoff game. That was a game, a season game. That was not a playoff game. Neither was a Patriots game that we won so that we would get home field advantage. That was not a playoff game. The question was playoff game. And the only quarterback drafted by the Denver Broncos that's ever won a playoff game was Tim Tebow. And how amazing was that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers with Demaryius Thomas catching that pass, 80-yard catch and run. Amazing. Absolutely, man. I still can't believe Demaryius Thomas is not around. I really can't. I can't believe he is not around. Wow. I would love to see DT in the Hall of Fame. I really would. I would love to see DT there. I don't know if he has enough years. I don't know if he has enough accolades, whatever. But in my opinion, DT needs to be there. Just my opinion. Just this guy's opinion. Yep. There it is. Kamani Dixon says he beat the Steelers touchdown to number 88, Demaryius Thomas. Absolutely correct. And I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys before. I did not see that play live. I watched the entire game, and my dog had to go to the bathroom, and it was a kickoff. Okay, it was a kickoff. And normally after a kickoff, they go to commercial. This time they didn't. They went to the kickoff, and immediately they went to the play. So I'm outside in the backyard. My dog's going to the bathroom, and I have my TV on, and all of a sudden I hear this big cheer and this big roar. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I come running in. My dog's still outside. I come running in, and all I see is them mobbing DT in what looked like the tunnel that goes, towards the locker room. And they're mobbing him. I go, what the heck happened? I had to watch the replay to see what happened. I never saw it live. I recorded it. I watched it recorded numerous times, like I have to this day, seen that play over and over and over again, but I never saw it live. I never got to experience the exuberation of seeing it for the first time. Once I knew that Denver won, I'm watching, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. But I didn't have that elation that I would have had I seen it live. And to me, it was kind of like a letdown. I was excited we won the game, but I was let down because I'm like, golly, I didn't see it live. Should I have let the dog go to the bathroom in the house? Hindsight 2020? Yeah, most likely. My wife would have killed me, but hey, what can I say? I didn't see it live. My gosh, that was amazing. Yeah, Tim Tebow, the only drafted Broncos quarterback out of 48 quarterbacks the Broncos have drafted. Only Tim Tebow, who John Elway never liked. I was hired by Josh McDowell. John Elway never liked it. One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, Tim Tebow, Jake Plummer. Love those two guys. Absolutely love those two guys. And yeah, Jake Plummer won a playoff game, but he wasn't drafted by the Broncos either. He came over from the Cardinals. So you see, maybe Josh McDowell does know something. I know, guys, don't throw tomatoes at me. I'm not saying, Josh McDowell is all that. But I love Tim Tebow. Absolutely love Tim Tebow. All right, I'm going to move on. Okay, AFC West. The AFC, this is also interesting. The AFC West has been won the past 14 seasons by either the Denver Broncos or the Kansas City Chiefs. 14 seasons. Either the Broncos or the Chiefs. The Chargers' last AFC West title was in 2009, and the Raiders' last AFC title was 2002. The Broncos and the Chiefs own the AFC West, or they have for the past 14 seasons. But you know what? It's about time the Broncos regain that. And I don't know if that's going to be this coming year. I don't foresee it. I mean, we still have quarterback issues. We still don't know, if there's going to be any major trade moving up the draft pecking order. I sure hope not. I don't want to get rid of a Patrick Surtain or Justin Simmons, like I mentioned many, many times. So I don't know. I really don't know if that's gonna take place. But I dare say that the Broncos are not far away from making a push for the AFC West title. I mean, it's just going to take a quarterback and a couple of tweaks here and there. Yeah, I know people say we need an offensive line and we need tight ends and we need, defensive line. And I get all that. Yes, we do. But it starts with the quarterback. It really does. It starts with the quarterback because the offense can't score any points if you don't have a good quality quarterback. And defense could do so much like we did in that 5-game win streak last year, where the defense had more takeaways in the NFL in 5 games than ever before. So, yeah, it can be done. But the issue is, yes, it can be done, but everything starts with the quarterback. So let's start there first, okay? Let's start with the quarterback. I just don't know who that's going to be. Is it going to be J.J. McCarthy in a draft from Michigan? Bo Nix? I don't know. And I'm not the GM and I'm not Sean Payton. So I'm going to just leave it up to them guys and just continue to throw out my thoughts to, as best that you guys, want to comment on. So I really appreciate it. Let's see. Kamani chimes in talking about Tebow says the Broncos lost to the Patriots the next game. Yes, they did. They lost to the Patriots big time. And you know what, Kamani, when I watched that game, I never expected the Broncos to win. I knew the Patriots were a better team. The Broncos were only 8-8 that season. The only reason why they held home field advantage against the Steelers, who had more wins, I think the Steelers were 12-4 or 11-5, 10-6, something like that. But it doesn't matter because the Steelers were a wild card. Denver had won their division. That was the year they won the division under Josh McDaniels and Tim Tebow's quarterback. They were 8-8. So therefore they won the division. They hosted the Steelers and they beat them at Mile High. When they went to New England, it was cold, it was damp, it was snowy. I never expected the Broncos to win. I was hoping they would. I never expected. But it was still great to just beat the Steelers, who nobody gave the Broncos a chance to win that game. Nobody did. And that's why it was so phenomenal, so epic that the Broncos won that game. It was phenomenal. It was fantastic. It was electric to me. I love Tim Tebow. I think the world of the guy. And I will always remember that game for Tim Tebow as well as Demaryius Thomas. Fantastic game. Kamai Dick says we should have had the West this year. Yeah, we should have. We really should have. Well, we lost to the Jets. We lost to the Patriots, who we never should have lost to. We lost to the Commanders, which you never, we lost to the Redskins. Commanders, we never should have lost to. And we lost to the Raiders the first game of the season. That's 4 games right there. Now you take the 8-4, that's 12. We should have been 12-5. We should have been 12-5. We should have won the division. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But what can you say? I mean, I could go back to sabotaging the offense, which I've said many times. I still sometimes think that's the case in certain situations. How else do you lose to the Patriots? How else do you blow a huge lead against the Redskins? Commanders. How else do you blow that lead? How else do you lose to the Raiders? By 1 point. People are going to say, well, you got blown out by them. Throw that out the window. Who cares? Throw it out the window. Doesn't matter. It's one loss. You know, okay, come on. Since I think the Broncos lost because they had too much pie after the Steelers. There goes that pie again. Come on, you're bringing that back up, dude. Bringing that back up. It's okay. It's okay, Mule. You know, you probably could be right. All right, Jerry Wallace in the house, batting third in the chat batting order. He says, hi, Bill. I say, hi, Jerry. What's happening, my friend? Glad to have you in the chat. As always, really do appreciate it. I got 2 topics left. Not many on the Broncos Breakdown slate tonight. Not a whole lot going into Super Bowl Sunday, this coming Sunday. But speaking about the Super Bowl, hang on a second, guys. All right. Speaking about the Super Bowl, the Denver Broncos won't ever host a Super Bowl unless these things happen. Here it is. In the last 56 years, Denver has never hosted a Super Bowl, and they aren't on the list for any upcoming years, in upcoming years either. The main reason is the NFL has certain requirements. Okay, I can understand that. Some of the requirements are to have at least a 70,000 seat stadium, which Denver has. Denver has that, as well as 2 bowling lanes in the area. Hang on a second. I'm sorry. As well as at least 3 18-hole golf courses and 2 bowling lanes in the area at no cost to the NFL. Wait a minute. So the Broncos have a 76,000 seat stadium in Power Field. They have golf courses all over the greater Denver area. They have bowling alleys all over. So why haven't the Broncos gotten a Super Bowl? Why? They've got state-of-the-art stadium. I mean, I know it's not like SoFi, it's not like Allegiant Stadium and all that. They still have done upgrades. Why don't they have a Super Bowl? Hold on. I will explain. Here we go. Also, here it is. Also, the NFL requires climate-controlled, domed stadium if the average daily temperature over a 10-year period in the host city on the week of the game is below 50 degrees. Well, Super Bowls are in February, DTDs, NFL. Of course, Denver is below 50 degrees average over a 10-year span. That's pathetic to have it over 10 years. Really? Why not just over a couple of years? Why 10 years? Well, that's the NFL protocol. That's the NFL rules. If the average temperature on Super Bowl game day, which is anywhere from February 1st to February 10th, that window has to be above 50 degrees or above to be able to host a Super Bowl in a 10-year span. Are you freaking kidding me? 10-year span on average within that. That's ridiculous. All right, I continue. Hang on. Here we go. Okay. There was one outdoor game in New Jersey. We all remember that one, where the NFL wanted to try a cold weather Super Bowl. Stupid. They didn't want to try a cold weather Super Bowl. They wanted to showcase New York. They wanted to say, okay, we can have an outdoor stadium, blah, blah. I mean, outdoor game, outdoor stadium. Okay, here we go. That game was against the Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. The temperature at game time, barely under 50 degrees. That's why they allowed it. 49 degrees at game time in New Jersey for the Broncos and the Seahawks. Pathetic Super Bowl 48 game. Super Bowl 48 was ridiculous. Broncos never had a chance. They They had their interview on some kind of yacht or boat that was bobbing up and down, and players were getting sick and this and that. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous to have had it there. Why the Denver Broncos organization has never had, or the city has never had, a Super Bowl is because of the criteria I gave you. If the Broncos build a dome stadium, if the Denver Broncos are really wanting to have a Super Bowl, organization, the ownership, the Walton Penner ownership really wants to have a Super Bowl, they will build a stadium with a dome. And I say build it with a retractable roof. Why not? You can have the elements during the season when it benefits you, whatever. Have it there. Close the dome or close the roof when you don't want to have the elements. Or it's too freaking hot or too freaking cold, whatever. Close it up. Have a retractable roof. But Denver, let's get a Super Bowl in the Mile High City. It would benefit the Broncos greatly. It would benefit the city. It would benefit the state. It would put the Broncos on the map, so to speak. And I understand you got to have hotels and whatnot around. They have that in downtown. Am I saying that to build a dome stadium where Mile High is now? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying wherever they build it so that you have infrastructure around to support the stadium when it's not football season. To have other things in there like motocross or concerts or whatever. But make it a place where people want to come. People want to spend their money, where people want to be part of Denver, greater Denver area, the greater Colorado area, and bring Super Bowls to the Mile High City. Why not? It's a beautiful place. I've been to Denver. I've been to Colorado Springs. I've been to Fort Collins. I've been in downtown. Love Colorado. Absolutely love it. My heart is in Colorado. When I stepped into Colorado ground and was on there, my heart felt I am home. Just like the song says from John Denver, Rocky Mountain High. He was born how's it go? He was born in his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. I'd never been to Colorado, but once I stepped foot on Colorado soil, I knew I was home. My heart was home. I knew I was home. And I want the Broncos and the city of Denver and the state of Colorado to have a Super Bowl hosted in Denver. How great would that be? And it would be even icing on the cake if the Broncos were in that Super Bowl and eventually won it. That would be icing on the cake. Absolutely icing on the cake. Okay, Kamani, you cannot go there. Kamani says, Bill, your heart's in San Diego, California. No, my heart's not in San Diego, California. My heart's not even in California. I grew up in Southern California, yeah, in Chula Vista area, south of San Diego. It's a suburb of San Diego. I grew up there. I've lived there, for 20 some odd years. Then I moved north to Escondido, California, which is still in San Diego County, but it's north of San Diego City proper. Then I moved from Escondido to a place called Temecula, California. It's northeast of San Diego and southeast of LA. And that's where I'm at now. I've been here for 17 years. So to say my heart, Kamani, is in San Diego, no, it's not. But I do, obviously I have roots. Obviously I have roots there, but my heart, literally my heart is in Colorado. It really is. I love Fort Collins. I would love to live in the greater Fort Collins area or Windsor or somewhere around there. That's where I'd really like to live. But I'm here still in California. So I don't know. My grandkids are here. My son, daughter-in-law are here. Probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon, but who knows? Kamani also follows up by saying, see, you can't get away from San Diego. I can't. I'm trying. I mean, I'm an hour and 20 minutes northeast of San Diego. So, yeah, it takes me a bit to get down there. Don't really have any reason to get down there anymore. So, what can I say, guys? What can I say? All right. I am heading to the very last topic of the show. Wow. I've only gone 45 minutes of the show. I knew there wasn't that many topics, but really wanted to still make it a really good show. Really glad to have you guys in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Hang on a second. Clayton Huron says, please hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. It shows so much that you guys enjoy the show, and it means a lot to moving forward on people enjoying the show and wanting to watch it. All right, this is the official last topic of the show. Here it is: Super Bowl 58, 49ers and the Chiefs. Here it is. Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again, seeking to go back-to-back after beating the Eagles last season. The last time the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, they faced, you got it, the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City ended up winning that matchup 4 years ago. Will this year's Super Bowl be any different? I have this game being really close. Final score? I'm not going to tell you until I explain why I think it's going to be a close game. The reason why I think it's going to be a close game is twofold. One, you have Patrick Mahomes, who's coming off of a Super Bowl championship and MVP of last Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay? Now, you have the 49ers who are hungry. You have Christian McCaffrey. You have a lot of Bronco connections on the 49ers. You have Christian McCaffrey, who's the son of Ed McCaffrey, who was the Broncos wide receiver in Super Bowl 32 that won the Super Bowl in San Diego. And you also have John Lynch, who is the general manager of the 49ers, and he was on the Denver Broncos team. He didn't win a Super Bowl with the Broncos, but he won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. So he's a Super Bowl champion. You have Ed McCaffrey, Super Bowl champions, passing on that knowledge down to his son, Christian. Now, Ed McCaffrey said earlier, and I heard this on an interview on YouTube, where he said that there's nothing else he can tell his son that his coaches aren't already saying. He talks to him every day. He encourages them. They don't really talk about football. And John Lynch Ed McCaffrey is totally okay with that. Ed McCaffrey says, hey, my son has to do what he has to do. He said, I can't do anything at this point in time. I'm not playing. He is. You have John Lynch, former Bronco. You have Ed McCaffrey's son, Christian McCaffrey, running back for the 49ers. You have Clint Kubiak, who's on the team. You have Brian Greasy, who's a quarterback coach. All of these Broncos connections that we as Bronco fans, for two reasons, cannot cheer for the Chiefs. We can't, because the Chiefs are in our division. We don't want Patrick Mahomes to win 3 Super Bowls. No, we don't. We don't want that at all. And we have Bronco connections on the 49ers. Am I a 49er fan? No. Do I like the 49ers? No, I don't like the 49ers. Absolutely not. Why? Because I'm also a Viking fan, which is in the NFC. Not the same division, but that's my NFC team. But I have to go with the 49ers in this Super Bowl because I want a Christian McCaffrey. I want Ed McCaffrey's son to experience a Super Bowl championship. I want Brock Purdy, whose faith I absolutely admire. I want him to win a Super Bowl. I want Brian Greasy, who's never won a Super Bowl. I want Clint Kubiak. I know he was on the Broncos when they had Super Bowl 50. I want these Bronco people who've been with the Broncos, associated with the Broncos, to win a Super Bowl. Do I want the 49ers necessarily as a team and an organization to win? No, I want these players to win. That's what I want. I don't want the Chiefs to win again. Absolutely do not. And not only that, I don't want the Chiefs to go back-to-back. I know people saying, well, they went back-to-back before because they won Super Bowl I, they won Super Bowl II, or something like that. No, was it the Packers? Packers went back. Anyways, whatever. I don't want them to go back-to-back. I don't. I want the Broncos to be the last AFC West team to go back-to-back, or maybe even AFC team. Anyways, I don't want them going back-to-back. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like Patrick Mahomes. I know he's a great quarterback. I don't care if he was on the Broncos. Yeah, I would love him, but he's not. So I don't like him. I don't like Travis Kelce. I don't like the whole freaking Taylor Swift crap. I really don't. Come on. Really? Taylor Swift, get out of here, man. I don't want to see any of that stuff. Come on, this is all Hollywood scripted. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it at all. No, Kamani, I am not a Niners fan. No, I am not. Bill is not a Niners fan. No, I'm not. I'm not a Niners fan. I like the people that are associated with the Broncos. Yes, I want them to be successful. I want them to win. And I know that means the 49ers have to win in order for them to win. But I don't know. Sometimes you just got to just suck it up and, say, okay, the team wins, but it's really, I'm really about the players. I get it. Kamani says Chiefs 31. Kamani says 49ers 31, Chiefs 27. Okay. All right, guys. That's one prediction. Kamani says 49ers 31, Chiefs 27. I say a little bit closer than that and a little bit lower than that. Here is my prediction. Not that I necessarily want this to happen, but this is my prediction. Only based on the fact that the Chiefs have been there more times in the last 5 years, more times in Super Bowl in the last 5 years than the 49ers have. Kyle Shanahan has never won a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan didn't beat the Chiefs 4 years ago. Not buying the fact he's going to beat the Chiefs this year. Here it is. My prediction, not that I want the Chiefs to win, but here's my score for Super Bowl 58 this coming Sunday, 3:30 Pacific time. Here it is. Kansas City 26, 49ers 21. That's what I say. I don't necessarily like it because I don't. But the Chiefs have more experience than the 49ers. I know the 49ers came back against the Packers. I know they came back against the Lions. But both games were marred by mistakes by the Packers and especially by the Lions head coach, Dan Campbell. I said that on my show last Friday. You guys want to know what I thought about that? It was absolutely pathetic. It should be the Lions and the Chiefs, and I would have picked the Lions hands down. No doubt about it. But because the Lions laid a big fat egg, because Dan Campbell is a complete moron and idiot when it comes to fourth downs and doing the right thing, he did the wrong thing, and that's why the 49ers are in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Final score again, guys. I have the Chiefs winning 26-21 in Super Bowl 58. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up. That's the best way you can let everybody out there that looks through the different videos, sees a thumbs up, says, hey, this is a show I want to watch. I really do appreciate it, guys. I know it means the world to me. You guys know it means the world to this show, this network. I really appreciate each and every one of you each and every week when you're in the chat. Whether you're in the chat, whether you're just watching, whatever it may be, I thank you greatly from the bottom of my heart. Kamani Dixon for batting leadoff. Really do appreciate it. Clayton Huron for batting second. And then following it up by Well, that's it. Just Clayton, and Kamani. That's it. Clayton and Kamani. Okay. Oh no, Jerry Walsh. I knew there was somebody else batting third. Jerry Walsh, thank you so much for being in the chat. Really do appreciate it. You guys are the backbone. I know it's very, it's in February. It's coming up on Valentine's Day. By the way, happy Valentine's Day to each and every sweetheart out there. Whether it's a sweetheart from your wife to your husband, from your husband to the wife, from boyfriend to girlfriend, girlfriend to boyfriend, whatever it may be, you guys thoroughly enjoy Valentine's Day. I won't be back on until Valentine's Day is over. My next show is next Friday, which will be the 16th. Valentine's Day is on the 14th. You guys do the right thing. You women do the right thing. Treat your loved one with absolute hugs, kisses, and Valentine's, whatever that may be. You guys, thanks again so much for tuning in. I know it's a busy weekend for you guys. It's a busy week coming up. Thank you guys so very, very much for being here each and every Friday. I appreciate it greatly. You guys are the best. Till next Friday, happy Valentine's to each and every one of you out there. Hats off to all the ladies and the gentlemen that treat their loved ones with respect. Guys, till next Friday, take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flame out. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute.